we have got to talk about some of the best metas in Dragon Ball Legends. Let's start with the 6th anniversary part 1. I don't think there was a time where the majority of Dragon Ball Legends players were happier. Because of the part 1, no matter what you liked, you were happy. You just pick a side. It doesn't even matter what's better, you just go for which you like. And in this case, I'm obviously talking about fusing Super Vegito and fusing Gogeta Blue. Dropping one Fusion Warrior, there's usually the back and forth between Gogeta and Vegito fans. But I've never seen such harmony at one time. Simply because no matter if you was a Gogeta fan or a Vegito fan, you were eating either way. And that means every single Dragon Ball fan, because all of us like Goku and Vegeta, was eating. In the part 1, they were both on the boost. Obviously, we know who was stronger in the end, but that's besides the point. Having the debate, bringing the discussion up, arguing your points, talking about who you like more, talking about who you like less, and overall just being able to see these beautiful units with amazing animations, new mechanics, brought everybody so much joy in Dragon Ball Legends. This is a case where the actual power of the units, so how overpowered they are or how valuable they are, didn't matter in PvP simply because the aesthetic and the value looks wise overshadowed what they could actually do. Like I said, we know who was better in the end, but even though fusing Super Vegito was more cracked, Gogeta fans were playing with a smile on their face every single day. And I think if Dragon Ball Legends could replicate that all the time, this would honestly be the best gacha game to exist. And I'm talking all of history. The game's a special game, and I really can't think of many times in Dragon Ball Legends where the devs were able to pull out something that made us enjoy the game more than thinking of what the meta does. So props to them for what they did in the 6th anniversary part 1. The 2023 festival part 1. Now this one is definitely one for the books, but it didn't last as long as everybody would have liked it too. It's similar to the 6th anniversary where the units we got were the main focus because the game was at a state where everybody would say it was quite balanced, and no matter what unit you went for, you could actually dominate in PvP. So we had 2 Legends Limiteds, and it's 3 characters that are all fan favorites. 2 of those characters are on one unit. So the first one we got is Evoken, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta and Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku on a tag unit. This was the first time, I believe, where Vegeta was the starter unit of the tag unit. And on top of that, he's the main unit for firepower, where it's usually Goku when we do get tag units. So this was a very big switch up. This unit here built to do insanely long combos. So if you were the calculated and strategic type, you could spawn in the cards from filling up the gauge, and also tag switching, which would aid you greatly. Depending on when you tag switch, you make sure you're type advanced so you can get the best out of the damage that you can do, while also extending that combo to a ridiculous amount. 99 every single time. So this is more for the guys that like the long haul and they don't really care about high damage but controlling the battlefield for the whole game. But on the other side, we had Legends Limited Beast Gohan, our second Legends Limited Beast Gohan in Dragon Ball Legends, our second Beast Gohan in general, and he's a transforming unit. So of course, crazy animations, his legendary finish is super polished, but this guy is the complete opposite of what Evoken can do. Straight high damage power. He can do decently long combos, but he's not reaching the 99 standard that Evoken were doing. But instead, he's gonna one-tap you with his blue card. If he hits you with that blue card, you are out for the count. His strike cards and blast arts still do good damage. He's a real solo unit, getting his vanish back, real threatening, removing your vanish as well. He's got very good things in his kit. Overall, it didn't matter what side you wanted to go for. Are you a Universe Rep fan, or are you more feeling the hype of the newest Dragon Ball movie to that date? No matter which one you preferred, you could still get a lot out of ranked PvP, of course given you get the units. But it's a case where as long as you have one of the units, you can get value out of them in a different playstyle, and whatever playstyle that suits you, you would be enjoying the game, as the meta itself wasn't suffocating. Simply a place where everybody can win if you are the better skilled unit based on the playstyle of the unit that you're using. And that overall is a great experience to have in the hit mobile game Dragon Ball Legends. The release of Kid Buu spawning the triple ultra meta, even quadruple some people may say. This meta here was actually one that they would never be able to replicate, because Dragon Ball Legends, I'm sure it was an accident they were able to do this. There were 4 ultras in Dragon Ball Legends, and you could use them all together if you wanted to, though not optimal. And each one of them had a team of their own, and depending on which one you had, you would be able to run an amazing team and beat the other team. It's like they all had equal stats, but different characters with different mechanics and different values. This has to be one of the most beautiful experiences in Dragon Ball Legends. The 4 ultras I'm referring to, so the release of Ultra Kid Buu, and prior to that, we had other ultras running the game too. So there was also Ultra Goku Black Rose, there was also Ultra Hit, and there was also Ultra Gogeta Blue. Now this lineup of Ultras was insanity because they're all really good characters that people like. Ultra Gogeta Blue, though he was aged the most out of all these Ultras, he was still doing good damage once he passes that certain time account threshold because his card draw speed and his counter gauge, it's futile. It's just amazing running with him. You could run Fusion Warriors, you could run Sagas from the movies, and you would get great value out of him. Going up next, we've got Ultra Hit. Ultra Hit, although he's a one-trick pony, this was his prime. Once that time skip triggers, you're dead. And it's not difficult to land his time skip, but once people got used to it, of course, it made it easier to anticipate. Thus, if the person using Ultra Hit wasn't a great player, I would say he was the weakest of the bunch. But if he lands that time skip, he's easily the strongest of the bunch, thus stamping his value as somewhat balanced, especially among all these Ultras. Next, we got Ultra Goku Black Rose. Ultimate Art Spammer, insane strike damage, insane blue card damage, paralyzed kicking in, getting his Vanish back. Goku Black Rose, he's not exactly special mechanically, but he's gonna be doing a lot, rampaging down your whole team. It's nasty work from him, running on the future team with Blue Zamasu, a sparking that was actually hanging with these Ultras, crazy. And with the release of Ultra Kid Buu, spawned the powerful opponent team where you had Blue Zamasu, and I already mentioned two other Ultras who also just happened to be powerful opponents. Dragon Ball Legends at this point of Ultra Kid Buu's release, in most cases, people would only pick one or two of these Ultras and you would have a team ready to go. So naturally, having 4 Ultras in one meta might sound bad, but if they all have their own teams, it really made the game enjoyable, and I'm sure a lot of people can remember this based on the debates being had where so many content creators, so many people in the Dragon Ball Legends community couldn't say there was one fixed opinion. There was a good portion of people backing Kid Buu, there was still people holding on to the Ultra Gogeta Blue Glory, people believing in the Ultra Hit time skip nuking the game, and Rose's ultimates being super dangerous. No matter what corner you went to, generally speaking, you was right. But there's always going to be someone that disagrees with you, and that in itself tells me the game had reached a super balanced state. The 2021 festival, easily one of the best celebrations of all time, if not the best celebration of all time, where we saw the increase of banner rates. On top of that, banner drop rates. When you get a unit, you're pulling 3 times the Z power, so everybody had the units. Increased rates and you get more copies of them easier, everybody's pulling. Naturally, everybody had the 2 Legends Limiteds, Blue Bros alongside Sword of Hope Trunks. Blue Bros working on sagas from the movies, also creating the treacherous, just to add, it's a team that a lot of people have forgotten about, Mono Purple team. This team was absolutely devastating. Easily one of the best teams in Dragon Ball Legends history, but people won't remember it because it was quite a long time ago. This is 2021. Nonetheless, Blue Bros being the first ever tag unit in Dragon Ball Legends, it brought that appeal where there's a new mechanic that people desperately want to use. Especially with the cinematics of the Broly movie and the legendary finish being so spectacular, this unit brought in a major amount of players to Dragon Ball Legends. So if you had them, you're going to be doing crazy blue card damage on both Goku and Vegeta's side. And on the other end, Sword of Hope Trunks created a future team that was actually on par with the Mono Purple team. A lot of people might disagree, but those who know. If you are running Sword of Hope Trunks with what people call Zimzam, the green Goku Black and Zamasu, they recently got a Zenkai by the way at the time I'm making this video, you was eating. The future team was very fixed because Sword of Hope Trunks has very large restrictions on his kit. Not anymore based on his Zenkai and Platinum equipment, but during his initial release, he couldn't be used on any other team besides Future and Vegeta Clan pretty much, and the only good team was Future. But it wasn't just a good team, it was a great team. Naturally, more people summoned for Blue Bros, but every time you came up against a Future team, you would be having a fight for your life, having you thinking, aren't I using the better unit? Shouldn't Blue Bros be winning? Well, if you thought that, you would be incredibly wrong. Both units had crazy powers, and following that up with Ultra Super Gogeta, the first summonable Ultra in Dragon Ball Legends, he would easily eclipse all of these units, but at the same time, not exactly have a strong formidable team to stick to. Sure, you could run sagas from the movies, but the future team was still a solid composition, Mono Purple was still a super powerful composition, so Ultra Super Gogeta, on his own, he was that bruh. If he wanted you out of there, he would do it by himself, on feet, by himself. 2 teams and 1 unit that could be put on any team to bring value up. Honestly, a time for the books. One of my favorite times in Dragon Ball Legends history. anniversary, only naturally does it have to be brought up in this video. The first ever Gogeta Blue in Dragon Ball Legends. This release dropped 2 Legends Limiteds at the same time, and it was one of the first few times that they had done this. Not the first time though. There was 2 large differences in playstyle here. With Gogeta Blue, you're meant to build up and make him that powerhouse unit from pressing strike arts and blast arts so that his ultimate arts could do crazy damage while being one of the most skill-based, if not the most skill-based units in Dragon Ball Legends to this date. If he lands the green card counter on you, and this is very early Dragon Ball Legends 2020, you were doomed. He's going to one combo you no matter what. But it requires a lot of skill, a lot of patience, and a lot of understanding, which a lot of people didn't opt in for, but could easily have you above every player in Dragon Ball Legends at this time. On the other hand, we've got Legends Limited Broly, who prizes himself on damage stacking and draw speed. At this time, not many units had draw speed, so Broly having draw speed, a lot of people valued that, because once he starts getting the ball rolling, he would be a literal wrecking ball. Let me also add that a lot of units didn't have cover changes, so there's also not much you could do to stop him from doing crazy damage to you. Once Broly starts, he wouldn't really stop, so a lot of people opted in for him, considering he does high damage out of the gate. He's literally a one-man army unit, and honestly for that time, he had decent defenses, and that's understating it. I'd say they were pretty good. So this was a battle of work for it or you get it for free, and the way they put it up together, Broly being outrightly the better unit out the gate, but Gogeta Blue obviously being the more popular unit, it created a large divide for people feeling like Gogeta Blue was underwhelming, where that was far from the truth. Simply, he required true investment, and that's proven by him lasting way beyond Broly without getting a Zenkai or a Platinum equipment, and even outliving Broly's Platinum equipment and Zenkai without Gogeta Blue even being touched once. Outrageous. But I like when they do that. On the surface level, the more popular unit seems underwhelming, but they're really not. But then they hype up the less popular unit so that they have more value for people to summon for. And in a weird way, because people naturally have a bias to certain characters, that brings balance to Dragon Ball Legends PvP, as people are stuck between what they like more and what's better for the gameplay that they want to put out given the current meta. That's going to make the end of the video. Let me know which one of these were your favorite metas in Dragon Ball Legends, even if you didn't experience any of them. And if there was a meta that you preferred the most that I didn't mention in this video, let me know in the comment section too. You're all entitled to your own opinion, but hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.